On today's agenda, we will be reviewing the following topics together: third-party vendor exchange and XactAnalysis setup, linking an XactAnalysis assignment to a job. We will review information that syncs back and forth between Proven Job Management and XactAnalysis. I will then show you how to prepare your Xactimate account prior to estimate export. I will show you how to import your Xactimate estimate to automatically create your work orders by category. And as we go through each agenda item on this list, I will be sure to highlight the updates that have been developed for a better user experience. The very first item that must be taken care of prior to exporting from XactAnalysis or Xactimate is a request must be submitted to the Xactware eService Center to enable the third-party vendor exchange. For new clients, this is something that Can-Am System does on your behalf to enable the link. But if you're ever unsure if your database is connected to the third-party vendor exchange to enable exact exports, please email support@canamsys.com and we will be happy to assist with this information. Within XactAnalysis, we must make the selection for either an automated or manual export. And within Xactimate, we must go through each profile that participates in the vendor exchange and select the checkbox selector for Show and List next to Proven Solutions, which we will talk more about here in just a little bit. Within XactAnalysis, Administration, Company Setup and Exports, now that you're connected to the vendor exchange, you will see an option for Proven Solutions highlighted in red on my screen. You need to decide on the best exporting option for your company, whether that is a manual export or an automatic export. If you opt for a manual export within each assignment in the Select an Action drop-down menu, you will manually have to select the option that reads Export to Company Proven Solutions. Or, if you choose the automatic version, once a new assignment is received, it will automatically export to Proven Job Management, in which you can either link it to a job or create a job based upon the software reading the assignment details. This is my XactAnalysis account for a recent assignment for Sarah Stark. When I hover over this Select an Action, I'm going to click on this, and you can see that this says already exported to Company Proven Solutions. I have this set up as a manual export within my Administration, Company Setup and Exports. And you can see that my Proven Solutions is manual. If I had this selected to automatic, each new assignment would automatically export from XactAnalysis into Proven Job Management. But because I do have this set up as a manual export, I do have to manually click this action here, Export to Company Proven Solutions, in order to send this assignment to Proven Job Management. And once this has been clicked on once, it is not clickable again. As you can see, it is grayed out here because I have already exported this assignment. Now let's go take a peek at exactly what this looks like within Proven Job Management. Within the Integration Xactware menu, a few of these column options have been updated. You can now easily see if you're specifically looking at an estimate or an assignment, when before there was no easy way to visually decipher this information. So that is denoted in the Xactware type column. The Xactware ID has also been updated. Previously this said transaction, but now the label matches to Xactware ID. An imported date. Previously, this said created, which just showed you when it was imported into our system, but now we have changed the label to imported date. I'm going to search for my client, Sarah Stark, and I can see this is my assignment by looking at my Xactware type, and we are going to select import. You have the ability to define if you want to create a job or customer based upon those assignment details, or you have the ability to attach it to an existing customer if you already have a job created within Proven Job Management. In this example, let's just say I received this job yesterday. I already created this job within Proven Job Management, but now today I received the assignment. My XactAnalysis is set up with that manual export that we just walked through. And within that assignment itself, I opted to export to Company Proven Solutions. I am now going to choose Attach to Existing and search for my job that already exists. So attached to existing, I'm going to search for Sarah Stark, and here is my job. I am going to select Replace Loss Description. What this does, if you already had a loss description that you manually entered at the time of new job creation, this button will replace your manually entered loss description with the XactAnalysis version, and it will appear in red bold text on your Info tab at the very top and also sync into the system as a newly created log note. And because I do want to import my XactAnalysis notes, I'm going to leave this selected in any notes that exist on my assignment, whether by an internal employee or third-party administrator. Those notes will sync to the Notes tab within your job. If your job has originated from Contractor Connection, you can also select if you want to link this to Contractor Connection Job Track, which will help you later when you're scheduling and linking job track milestones. And lastly, you also have the option to import the Xactimate estimate. Now, we are just importing an assignment, but typically at this point in the process, I just received this assignment today. It's a little too early in the production stages to have an estimate available. So this checkbox selector is more so for an estimate has been created in the assignment shell, which will be denoted with a prefix of the letter A in Xactimate. If an estimate is available, it will import those corresponding work order line items. But for now, because it is too early in the process, I just want to bring in my assignment. I'm going to uncheck this and then select Save. We can now switch over to our linked toggle and see that Xactware ID that has been linked. So let's search for our client, Sarah, as well. And now we can see our linked assignment. I'm going to select Edit, which will take me into my job number. Previously, when we were in our job, our XactAnalysis or Xactimate linked information would appear on the Info tab at the bottom left. However, this has been moved to our new Xactware tab. Now, be cognizant that you will not see this tab on your job if you do not have either an assignment or an estimate linked. But because I know I just linked my assignment, this Xactware tab has now activated. So let's click on my Xactware tab and let's see what this looks like. I can see my XactAnalysis assignment and the corresponding Xactware ID. This blue star denotes that this is the primary. In the event you do link multiple assignments, your primary is going to be the one in charge of syncing notes, photos, documents, and things of that nature. So your primary is important, and that is the first one that you link within Integration Xactware is denoted by the primary blue star. If I wanted to unlink this, or maybe if I had multiple assignments and I wanted to change the primary, just be sure that you unlink and then relink those. And you can do so by hitting the orange minus sign and then selecting Save. Once you do that, this information will then be available again on the Integration Xactware menu to relink. Now that the assignment has been linked, if your role securities allow you the ability, you can sync Proven Job Management log notes to XactAnalysis and vice versa. So what you enter into XactAnalysis will also sync back into Proven Job Management. If I wanted to send a log note to XactAnalysis, let's navigate to the Notes tab and click on the blue plus Create Note. I'm going to select my topic, enter in a subject here, and then enter in my body of note. So I'm going to enter in a note that reads assignment received and customer contacted. Estimator is scheduled for a site inspection on August 26th at 2:00 p.m. I will enter an updated XactAnalysis note once an initial inspection has been completed. So now let's click Save for this log note. And then back on my Notes tab, we can see that the visibility status is private. By default, these are set up as private, but if I want to change this to be a public log note that syncs to my corresponding XactAnalysis assignment, on the left, I'm clicking my checkbox selector, and then if your role securities allow, you will have a blue Make Public button up here at the top. Once I click Make Public, we will see that visibility status change from private to public. So make public. Are you sure you want to mark these selected log notes as public? Yes, I do. And now we can see that the visibility status has changed to public, and this note will be available in XactAnalysis on the Notes tab of my assignment that I have linked as well. Similarly, for images and documents, we are now on the Attachments tab. And by default, I'm entering in the thumbnail view, but we need to switch our view to list view. And as you can see here, once we are in list view, we now have checkbox selectors. So I can click on each image that I want to sync to my XactAnalysis assignment. And up here at the top, I do have a select all if I have multiple images that I do want to send to XactAnalysis. You can see by default, they are all private right now, but once we select all, we are going to select make public. And now each photo, I have 10 in this A folder. When I click on that folder, I can now see that they are all public and they have synced into my corresponding XactAnalysis assignment. For the sync of XactAnalysis dates, these must be set up first within your company settings. So let's go to Settings, Company Settings, Jobs, Edit Date Types, and I'm going to filter by this XactAnalysis stage here. The left description side is the proven job management date, and the XactAnalysis stage column is where you define the corresponding XactAnalysis date that matches the proven job management description. The Send to XactAnalysis option is essentially turning on a two-way sync of dates. If left unchecked, only dates from XactAnalysis will pre-fill the dates within proven job management. Or if you opt to turn that feature on, you will now have the ability to enter in a date within Proven Job Management and then have that date sync back to XactAnalysis. And to turn on the ability to send a date to XactAnalysis, we will select Edit and then our checkbox selector for Send to XactAnalysis. Once I hit save, we can now see a faint gray box that Send to XactAnalysis is activated. And now for this site inspected date, I essentially have a two-way sync of my dates between Proven Job Management and XactAnalysis. Now that we have discussed the XactAnalysis setup and data sync, let's transition our focus to Xactimate. Again, Proven Job Management has the ability to integrate with both Xactimate Online and X1. There are a couple of initial setup action items that should only need to be done once before your very first estimate export. I'm going to show you a few examples using Xactimate Online, but if you are an X1 user and you need assistance with this, the interface of that is a little bit different than what I'm showing you today. So please feel free to reach out to support@canamsys.com and we will be happy to walk you through that process if you're an X1 user. The first step here is to enable the export of estimates. Again, this is a one-time setup. So here on our screen, we navigated to the Control Center, Preferences, and then we selected the third-party tools option. It is suggested to change the user from your specific login to all users. So the changes you make to the Control Center preferences will be affected for all user accounts and not just yours. Now you will notice some carrier profiles such as contractor connection that do not have the proven solutions show in list option. And that simply just means that some carriers do not participate in the third-party vendor exchange. If you do come across one of those examples, no problem. You can simply duplicate your estimate into the contractor or carrier profile, and then that will allow you the ability to export your estimate into Proven Job Management. And once this one-time setup has been completed, we are now ready to export an estimate. Now, to prepare for today's Lunch and Learn, I have already exported my Xactimate estimate, but just to recap my steps, I ensured that the status was in progress and also that my profile was a profile that participates in the third-party vendor exchange. I had to duplicate this into the carrier profile as seen on my screen here in the middle column. I'm going to double-click on my Sarah Stark project here. And then I'm going to select my V icon up here in the upper left-hand corner, which stands for vendor and represents the third-party vendor exchange. Now, because I've already exported this, we can see the status of all my requests that it was sent. But let's just say we were sending this for the first time. This would be blank. I am hitting my plus icon for create new request. I do not have to fill any of this information out, and I'm just simply going to select send. I'm clicking my red X button, save and exit, And now, once we are within our control center, down here in the bottom right corner, I'm clicking Connect. This is essentially sending information from Xactimate through our XactAnalysis conduit and then into Proven Job Management on the Integration tab. We can select Done. And now let's go into Proven Job Management and see exactly what this looks like. Now again, we are entering the Integration Xactware tab because this is where I need to set up the link that serves as the bridge between Xactimate and Proven Job Management. Here, I can see my Sarah Stark estimate that is ready to be linked to a job. That is what I just exported from Xactimate Online. I'm going to select Import, and then I'm going to attach to existing. I'm going to attach this to my job that already exists. Historically, users could not utilize the attached to existing functionality on jobs that were already linked to an XactAnalysis assignment because previously you could not link multiple Xactware IDs. So this is that process where we can come in here, link multiple Xactware IDs to an already existing job, as opposed to first unlinking my assignment, bringing in my estimate, and then relinking my assignment again. That is the process that has been revamped for a better user experience. So we have attached to existing, we've selected our job. This import Xactimate button, I am going to leave this checked because I am importing an estimate for the first time. It is important to be cognizant of exactly what this means. This option acts as a replace all. I know because this is a brand new job, I do not have any work orders on this Sarah Stark job. So I'm fine with leaving this selected, and it's going to bring in my estimate and all those line item details by category. However, if I was bringing in a revised estimate or a supplement perhaps, I would suggest to deselect this. But again, since this is my first time of importing this estimate, I'm going to leave this checked and then select Save. This is asking, are you sure you want to replace pre-existing work orders that are open and have not been scheduled or vouchered? I am going to select yes because I know that no work orders exist on this job, so I am okay with that happening. Once we have received confirmation, we are going to click on our job in the upper right-hand corner. This serves as a quick access hyperlink to go into my job. I can already see my estimated revenue has been reflected by my estimate that's been imported on my Job Info tab. And when I go to my Xactware menu, we have a new label here. We have our XactAnalysis assignment that's primary linked, and then we have our Xactimate estimate that has been linked as well, and that corresponding project name that gets created within Xactimate. I can go to my Work Orders tab and see those corresponding line item details that were brought into the system by category. Users do have the ability to choose how they want their estimate to import overhead and profit and taxes. So let's navigate to our settings, company settings, and once this opens, we are going to select our integration menu. These company settings should be manipulated prior to your estimate import so you can be sure that your overhead and profit and taxes import in the way that you desire them to do so. By estimate, this will create a separate work order containing just the overhead and profit for the entire estimate. By category, this will add overhead and profit or taxes within each work order as a new line item detail. And then by item, this is calculated into the line item itself, or of course you can choose to not import as well. If you have any special taxes that exist on your estimate recap by category, you can certainly manually type in those special taxes in the description and then click add to be sure that those are accounted for as well. So you might be asking yourself, well, what if later on I need to revise an estimate for supplemental purposes? Prior to this integration redesign, users would have to ensure that they were operating within the exact same project name. But because we can now link multiple Xactware IDs, that is no longer necessary to ensure that you're operating within the exact same project number. You absolutely could, and if you did that, you would just go to Integration Xactimate to import your new work orders. However, it is not a necessity today. So for example, in Xactimate, I could create a new estimate that contains supplemental line items for upgrades And once I have exported that from Xactimate into Proven Job Management following the same steps that I've already shown you, I can link this supplemental estimate with a new Xactware ID to my existing job. So let's show you what that looks like. So I'm going to my Integration Xactware tab, and I can see my estimate for my Sarah Stark upgrades. Again, this was a supplemental estimate that I created in Xactimate Online. I pushed it following the same steps from earlier by clicking on that vendor icon, creating the request for proven solutions, and then selecting the connect button within our control center. Once done, I'm going to click on import. I am attaching to existing, and I am searching for my pre-existing job of Sarah Stark. I'm going to deselect import Xactimate estimate, and the reason why is because I know this estimate only has my supplement items. It only has my upgrades. So if I left this checked, this would act as a replace all, and it would replace my original estimate line item details. I don't want to do that. I want my original estimate intact as well as my upgrades. So again, I'm deselecting, and then I am clicking on save. So now we do need to tell the system, well, what do we want to do with those specific work orders that we just linked? We linked that estimate. Now we need to tell the system, how do we want to import those work orders and that estimate? So I'm going to click on my Xactimate menu option here. Our new feature on this screen now includes a drop-down menu, so you can select the estimate in which we are now wanting to import those work orders. So we already imported our original Sarah Stark estimate, but now we want to import those supplemental work orders. So let's change our selection on the applicable drop-down to what I want to import. And before we talk in detail about these 3 action items, I do want to talk about our second upgrade on this menu. On the right, you will notice 3 options for imported, not imported, and all. Those 3 toggle options are purely dependent on the estimate that you have selected from your drop-down menu. Imported shows users line items that have already been imported and are existing on the job's work orders menu. When imported is selected, no check marks should be selected by default since those items are already pre-existing. So in this example, I have not officially brought in this estimate yet, so imported is blank for me because I do not have any line item details that already exist. If I switch this to my original, we can see I do absolutely have imported line item details that already exist as work orders on my Sarah Stark job. Not imported shows users line items that have not yet been imported. Typically, these are supplemental line items as they do not exist within the work orders menu. By default, all work orders on the not imported screen are checked as they have not yet been imported to your job. But you do have the ability to deselect specific work orders if you do not wish to import that specific line item to your job. And then all. This is the default option that will combine both imported and not imported line item work orders. Once we have selected which of our supplemental work orders we want to import, we now need to tell the system how we want to import them. And this is our action items: replace, update, and append new. Replace, this option will take all existing work orders that are already existing on your job file and replace them with new information of the new work orders. If you have closed or scheduled work orders pre-existing on a job, if you do select replace, the system will keep the scheduled and closed work orders, and it will delete all other work orders and create new work orders based upon the imported estimate. And these action items are looking at all estimates linked to your job, not just the ones selected. So in this case, if I selected to replace for my upgrades, my original estimate would be overridden if those work orders were open, unscheduled, and not vouchered. So please be cognizant of the action item that you are choosing. Update, this option is to be utilized if you already have an estimate on your job within Proven Job Management, and you go back into Xactimate to make a few changes to various line items within the same project name. This action of update will look for those changed line items from the new estimate and update that information within the existing proven job management work order. And append new, which is my personal favorite option. You use this option anytime you add a change order or supplement to an estimate within Xactimate. This will import your new work orders and keep your existing work orders intact. So because I am importing a supplemental estimate only for my upgrades, I am going to choose the append new option. This will keep all existing work orders intact and only import my supplemental line item details. So once I'm ready, I'm going to select the blue plus import button, and I received confirmation that my estimate had been imported successfully. And now we can see those not imported. This is now blank. And now when I click on imported, I can see those corresponding supplemental line items that indeed did update on my job. So let's go see what this looks like. I'm going to click on my blue hyperlink in the upper right-hand corner for Sarah Stark on my Xactware tab. Here again, we have our XactAnalysis primary assignment. This is syncing notes, photos, documents, dates, and my two Xactimate estimates, my original estimate, and as well as the supplemental estimate as well, and each corresponding Xactware ID. Let's go to our work orders tab, and we can see our job estimated revenue increased and now includes both my original estimate total and those supplemental line item totals to be about $5,000. I hope you found this Xactware session helpful. And a brief recap, today I showed you how to set up both XactAnalysis and Xactimate. I've shown you how to link an assignment to a proven job management job, how to export an estimate from Xactimate Online, and the newest additions developed in our recent Xactware integration redesign. I'm now going to open the floor for any questions. Please enter any questions you might have in the Zoom chat box. Thank you, everyone.